ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel. Damn. Uh, so I'm doing a live stream off of my other computer I use during the day to work on and so forth. And I see myself in this image, and man, is the picture quality not really good. It's all fuzzy and shit, but it's coming in smoother. I don't know. Am I breaking up here, guys? Let me know in the chat. Actually, let me know what you guys think. But I'm noticing no issues with the actual quality of like me talking and so forth. So I mean, I don't think picture quality is something that you guys are concerned with. I would imagine you guys are more concerned with the attitude of being able to actually hear me. Matt 87 Eagle, you say that it's all good. How's the picture? And by the way, how do you turn slow mode off? Just out of curiosity. Anybody know how to turn the slow mode off on the chat? Because I had it turned on, and I don't think I really need it since we don't have that many people coming in all the time on these live streams. I usually get about 4 or 5 people, and I'm able to keep up with them at a time. So, yeah, kind of made a mistake here with the whole slow mode chat situation. But yeah, I kind of messed up on that. Give me 1 second, guys. Trying to figure out how I can do this without going ahead and turning this off. Give me 1 sec here if I can see if there's anything I can do to help out with the slow mode on the chat. You can never get it perfect, huh? Well, I mean, I'm gonna take it for what it is, and go with it. I don't really care about the picture quality. I don't think any of you guys will care. I think you guys care more about being able to hear me properly. So, even if I had the camera off, the webcam, it wouldn't make a difference to me. I don't think it would make a difference to you guys. It's not all about seeing my face and so forth. But I definitely need a better webcam that'll work better. The other webcam works great. The only problem is that it freezes and it's all fucked up on the other computer I was using week to week for the last 3 episodes, but it wasn't coming in good. So I decided to use this one, and damn, is the picture quality look terrible. And Matt, you're the only person in here, so it's kind of technically you and I running the show. Only one problem. Your messages won't appear but once every minute when you send it. So it's going to be a very long while before I even hear from anybody. Unless somebody can tell me how to fix the slow mode on here, I'd be very grateful. Give me 1 second. I do see an edit, so let me see if I have any way of editing this while I'm talking to you guys. All right, I got that, the thumbnail. Trying to find where they have the slow mode in the chat portion. Just give me 1 second, guys. I do understand that usually I don't end up having this kind of issue. I usually have this all taken care of from the get-go. Here we go. Yeah, I'll turn that off. I don't need that on. So let's save. And voila, that should have taken that off. So yeah, I'm saving the slow mode is now off. So when you guys happen to chat, you'll be able to chat, and I'll see it the moment you release it. So let's get to work, shall we? First thing I'd like to discuss is about Shane McMahon. Oh man. Woo! What some crazy shit happened this past weekend. Shane O'Mac, here comes the money. Well, here comes the firing of Shane McMahon. Oh, folks, man. Shane McMahon was let go earlier this week. And damn. Was this over some really crazy shit? Here's a new report that was done 4 hours ago, released by Wrestling Incorporated, about why Vince McMahon was reportedly upset with Shane McMahon backstage talk on Shane's WWE future. So let's go over this one. Wrestling Incorporated. New details are being revealed on Shane McMahon's behavior on the day of the WWE Royal Rumble this past Saturday. As we've noted, it was reported earlier this week that Shane was quietly let go from WWE due to the significant heat received for his role as a producer and writer of the Men's Royal Rumble match this past Saturday. Shane McMahon competed in the match, but was reportedly heavily criticized for how he took charge of the booking and tried to make the match about himself. Yeah, okay. That match was all about him, huh? Wow. All right. I didn't see that as the same way, so whatever. You know, it is what it is, I guess. So the Wrestling News says you can click on the link for an initial report on Shane's heat from the Rumble debacle, and click here on for the report on the WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon making the decision to let his son go. In an update, multiple people were at the arena on Saturday, noted that McMahon was really self-centered and made things all about himself and his own ideas. According to a report from Wade Keller of PW Torch, it was also said Shane didn't get caught up on what the plans were for the match. McMahon apparently doesn't keep up with the WWE storylines, as it was noted that he didn't know what was happening on TV, which was the build to certain moments in the Rumble. Shane allegedly pulled the McMahon card with the other men's Royal Rumble match producers and wanted things done his way. The idea that he was there to have a big moment in the match. Things reportedly got so bad that there were heated arguments with people who felt like they could push back on Shane's behavior. The situation was described as chaotic by multiple sources, and McMahon's actions reportedly caused a lot of stress and strife, frustration, distracting people from the task at hand. It was also said that Shane just went way overboard with his actions. There was a plan in place for the Men's Royal Rumble, but Shane was reportedly pushing back against the WWE producers, who were simply trying to follow through on what Vince told them should be done in the match. Shane had interactions during the Men's Royal Rumble with Kevin Owens, Raw Tag Team Champion Otis, Riddle, and others. And it was noted that these exchanges were all his doing. And these are the wrestlers he wanted to be in the ring with, looking good against. While Shane had those interactions that made him look strong, it came time to put someone over, and he was willing to put Brock Lesnar over the winner. It's been reported that Shane was booked to wrestle a Elimination Chamber match and WrestleMania 38, and he was scheduled to be in heel on the Raw brand. An issue related to Shane's Raw creative is reportedly what put him in a bad place with his father. Shane reportedly had issues with what was planned for Raw and with how he was going to be framed, as he was going to be added to the WWE title Elimination Chamber match. Shane reportedly disagreed with Vince's plans for the Elimination Chamber booking and how he wanted to execute those ideas. The plans were laid out to Shane, but he didn't like them, so he reportedly pushed back on those plans, and that was where Vince finally had enough, leading him to canceling all plans with Shane altogether. Damn. Regarding the back and forth on Saturday, Dave Meltzer added on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Shane had ideas, but Vince would veto them and Lesnar would push for other things. It's been reported that Lesnar got his way in the Men's Royal Rumble, and the word now is that Lesnar got to do a lot of what he wanted, while Shane did not. Shane complained to a lot of people and talked down to others, including Jamie Noble. Besides Shane and Noble, it's been reported that the other main producers for the Men's Royal Rumble were Adam Pearce, Shawn Daivari, and Chris Park, formerly known as Abyss. Vince brought Shane in to help produce the Royal Rumble for the third year in a row, but it's likely that this will be the end of his Rumble creative work. It was described as a dad doing a favor to his son, despite the fact that Shane's creative ideas have been laughed at behind his back for years, and the fact that some say Shane doesn't have a good creative wrestling mind. What? You guys, listen to this. Whether you're here live or you get to hear this later on your own time, get this, guys. So I'm going to finish the rest of this. It was also noted that it's not clear if Shane has been released from a talent contract or if he was just sent home and removed from all plans, but it is believed among some that Shane will not be involved with WWE for the foreseeable future. WWE title match, They're discussing about what happens at the Elimination Chamber, which is no big deal. So you guys heard all that. He's bitching and moaning about creative decisions and stuff like that, and yada yada yada. Bottom line, guys, is this. Shane McMahon had a very good creative idea. He wanted to put over Austin Theory at WrestleMania. That was his original plans. And you want to tell me the man doesn't have a good creative mind? He's taking his brand name, and utilizing it to help get over a younger talent like an Austin Theory. You got Austin Theory hanging around with Vince McMahon backstage on Raw every single week throughout January. I didn't see him doing anything with Vince McMahon this past Monday. He actually didn't even have a segment on the show from what I saw. And you want to tell me that Shane McMahon doesn't have a mind for the wrestling business? Someone please explain to me what the fuck they're talking about. His ideas were laughed at. He doesn't follow the WWE motto. He doesn't bend over backwards for his old man. Like, what does Shane give a shit about working for Vince McMahon. He brings the guy back to do these same repetitive spots that, don't get me wrong, are great. But at the end of the day, the man is breaking his back for this doofus, and he's in his 50s. Did you ever see Vince McMahon in his 50s going ahead and doing coast-to-coast maneuvers? No. You know, you would never see him do that because he was incapable of doing moves like that. He's lucky he could even move around in the fucking ring. So let's get real, folks. Come on. Shane McMahon was just doing what he felt was right. And the thought is that he wanted to make himself look good in the Rumble. Why not? Why not make him look good? If you're going to have him put over a young talent like Austin Theory, you would want to make Shane McMahon look good in the Rumble. Why? So that you could build towards a match between those two. Better yet, why wouldn't they have Austin Theory and Shane McMahon have an interaction with each other in the middle of the Royal Rumble? Or even better than that, why wouldn't they have Austin Theory look like the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble? He was not the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles has been booked terribly, look better than him. I mean, let's get real, folks. Come on, let's get real. Shane McMahon wanted to put over Austin Theory. To me, that is him doing the right thing. Last year, we got to see him in a stupid, bogus storyline. Stupid. Come on, man. Let's get real. Anyway, let me go ahead and read off some of the comments made by Matt87Eagle. He says, thoughts on Brian Kendrick's anti-Holocaust comments. It's why he was immediately fired from AEW before his debut against Moxley last night. Yeah, I read into that. I got some I got a comment from one of my subs, Daniel, who I informed him to be on here if he'd like to join in on the chat and be part of the show. Fortunately, he is not here yet. Hopefully he shows up. But yeah, just to answer your question, Matt and Daniels, my thoughts on that is a real load of shit. I mean, there's solid proof that none of this was a host, a scam, or some conspiracy theory type of situation. The Holocaust is real. They show video of thousands of people, hundreds of people being dumped out in bones. Like literally they're in bone with skin over their bones, and they're dead as a fucking corpse. Well, actually, they would just be a corpse. I'm kind of being redundant when I say a dead corpse. But point being is there is millions of proof. There's millions of different, things that you can find proof that this was all set up and it was real. It wasn't a bullshit scenario or some load of bull crap that they just made up to create a World War II type of situation. Matt87Eagle also states that because he's taking a spot from someone else. You kind of messed up there. Taking a spot from someone else. Let's be real, Matt. I'm sorry to tell you, but there is no spots to be taken from this company because they don't build anybody up. This Royal Rumble is meant for people that are believable to possibly win the Royal Rumble. If you go through the entire list of the people that were involved in this match, not one person comes across as a winner, a possible winner, I should say. There's nothing to this. There was no one in this Rumble that was legitimate enough to be believable to win. The only person that I would say was legit was AJ Styles, and that's because of his name. Other than that, he hasn't done shit creatively either. Creatively, he's been crap. So that's all there is to it. I think the idea that Shane had was the right idea. Have Shane McMahon go over big in the Royal Rumble. Have Austin Theory as the Iron Man in the matchup so they could build these two into an actual match. Have Brock Lesnar eliminate Shane McMahon as the last person in the Rumble. And have Shane and Austin Theory go at it at WrestleMania. It would help Austin Theory out in the long run. That is the point, folks. We're trying to help get a star over. That is a way of doing that. You could also have Austin Theory get screwed over by Shane McMahon in the middle of the Royal Rumble match, as Shane is the one who eliminates Austin Theory. That is something I would have done as well. That would help give reason to why these two should even be facing each other leading into WrestleMania. Not to mention, you have Austin Theory right now in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. That would be another way of putting these two guys against each other at Mania. It would have made a lot more sense to do that. Now, Shane was against the idea of him being in the Elimination Chamber. I disagree with Austin Theory being part of it. They could have done something with that and made something of it. But with all that being said, it doesn't matter now. Shane is gone from the company for good right now, creatively, and more than likely wrestling-wise for a long period of time. Look, bottom line, guys, this company has shown us again and again that they are not looking to build stars. They're not building anything here. The bottom line, this is a dead product. This is worse than a WCW. WCW tried to make Jeff Jarrett into a superstar back in 2000. They tried to do certain things. Vampiro had an entire summer between him and Sting. I mean, it wasn't successful, I wouldn't say, but at least Vampiro was a new face in the company that they were trying to get over, you know? But honestly, this company is looking to build no one, and this Royal Rumble pay-per-view showed that. It showed it 100%. The person that should have won the Rumble should have been Matt Riddle. That, if you really want to get honest, Matt Riddle should have been winning the Royal Rumble. We should have been seeing Brock Lesnar taking all of his frustration back over to SmackDown and getting his revenge and getting the match he wanted with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's all they had to do. They could have had Randy Orton win the WWE Championship, or they could have had Randy Orton completely disappear from television just to bring him back into the WrestleMania match that Matt Riddle would have with Bobby Lashley and ultimately fuck him over and lead them to those two going through a grudge match throughout the entire summer. And then we get Matt Riddle win the Royal Rumble a second time in 2023 and then win the World Championship a year later. That they could have done. But, of course, as always, WWE fails to take initiative to something that might help them. They never take initiative to anything. They suck. Plain and simple, guys. Let me go back to the chat. We had Matt87Eagle then say, the Royal Rumble would have sucked with or without Shane. No doubt about it. The Royal Rumble was garbage from the get-go. I mean, I did not expect anything from this. This was an absolute travesty of a pay-per-view. They shouldn't even had the Royal Rumble. It was a joke. Matt87Eagle also says WWE don't know how to put wrestlers over. No doubt about that. They can't even book these guys creatively right. I mean, this is just a complete travesty and a fucking joke. Just out of curiosity, how is the video going? Is the audio coming in okay and whatnot? I see that there's 3 people watching, but I don't know if they're there or not. All I get is Matt87Eagle's chat. Comments, whatever. Let me know in the comments in the chat whether or not the audio is coming in good. Okay, it's fine, Rachel Buck. Thank you. So, I mean, this is just pathetic. Really pathetic stuff here. I mean, you got talent out the ass, and yet you throw it away with budget cuts. You throw it away with poor booking decisions. I mean, we're getting Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in 2022, and their very first match they ever had was in 2015. I mean, come on, man. It's a fucking joke. 2015. They had their very first match, and yet they're still having matches. I mean, come on. This is fucking insanity, man. You gotta be crazy booking this bullshit. I mean, come on, man. This is insane crap. And I'm going to go right back to what I was talking about earlier. If you guys did not see the video I uploaded earlier about Brock Lesnar, my message to JD from New York 206 about my feelings about Brock Lesnar losing at the Elimination Chamber. He's not losing that match. I can guarantee you guys, he is not losing that match. The point of him losing the WWE Championship was so that they could put him in the Royal Rumble and then have him win back the championship anyway, basically going in a circle douchebag kind of way to ultimately give him the title back so they can get what they really want, and that's a champion versus champion match for title. That is why they keep bringing that up over and over again for the last couple of weeks since Brock Lesnar won it at day one. So the bottom line is, guys, this was going to happen no matter what. And because the networks between USA and Fox keep humping them for certain superstars to appear, I know I said in that video, if you go back and listen to it, that I believe Brock Lesnar is going to lose the championship no matter what to Roman Reigns for Roman to capture both titles. But the bottom line is they're not going to do the champion go into both brands type of thing like I brought up earlier in the video. Because I thought about that after I uploaded the video and everything. I thought to myself, nah, they probably won't do that. They're just going to end the brand split and just be done with it. Because all they keep getting is problems from one network, from USA and from Fox. Fox want Ronda Rousey. Fox want Brock Lesnar, Big E. All these names Fox wants, and yet USA Network needs as well. So at this point, they're probably going to drop the fucking brand split altogether, put the two titles together as one, as an undisputed championship. They're going to probably do the same thing with Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey is going to become a SmackDown Women's Champion at the Elimination Chamber. I guarantee you this match is going to be booked. I guarantee you it's going to be booked. And Ronda Rousey is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship to ultimately face Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship to unify those two belts. Now, the tag team titles and all that, they'll probably unify them later. It ain't a big deal one way or another. They ain't got a tag team division to begin with. And the U.S. and Intercontinental Championships, those mid-card titles, can stay as is the way they are. They don't have to unify those two belts anyway. So, there you go. Rachel Buck states, do you see them firing Shawn Michaels? Absolutely not. He's doing what they tell them. He does what he is told to do by them. So he ain't giving them a lot of hassle. If he does the Shane McMahon route, he bickers, he argues, he gives them any problems. Yeah, they're going to let him go. Shane McMahon was let go because he stood up. He said things need to be changed. There has to be some kind of credibility here. This is all a creative joke. And it is. It's a real fucking joke. It is sad to watch. The way this company is being made into, it's just really sad to even watch. I'm lucky I can even sit through these fucking pay-per-views. If it wasn't for this channel, I wouldn't even bother watching. I'd go ahead and use Peacock to watch the older WWE programs that they did back in the day that were entertaining and never even look at this shit. I may take a look every once in a blue moon to get a laugh or something, but not make a big thing out of it like I do here every single week to give you guys a review. But I have this channel. You guys enjoy it. I'm getting better with the channel and people are subscribing more. So I appreciate that. And that's why I continue to do this stuff. But trust me, I ain't doing this for fun. This is not fun to me. This is a fucking joke. AEW is an enjoyable program. I can sit through that and watch it. Yeah, they do some things that I criticize and I think they need to fix. But outside of that, the majority of what AEW does is fun and enjoyable for the audience. WWE doesn't care about their audience. They laugh at their audience with these joke segments that they put on a weekly basis. It's ridiculous. Rachel Buck says, do you see them changing GMs if they stop the brand split? No, I don't really see any changes. I think that Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce are going to continue to play the authority role. Sonya Deville will play the authority role for the women's division while Adam Pearce does his thing for the entire rest of the roster. And that's pretty much it. That is where they're going to go with this. I wouldn't have an issue with that anyway. They're already having them both, go between both of these shows, making authority decisions on television anyway. So what's the point? What's the point of the brand split at this point? You got a lower roster. You've eliminated a lot of people. And yet there's nothing there. There's nothing there for the audience to care about. I mean, to do a brand split, you have to have a large roster to do that. So let's be real, guys. It's a joke. This brand split is dead in the water. It needs to go. Big On says, did you see the gameplay for WWE 2K22 posted yesterday? Not yet. I've seen some people have posted YouTube videos the last day or so. And I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet and see what the gameplays look like. The graphics look great. I mean, even in gameplay picture stills, they look pretty good. I mean, they look very legit. They don't look like they're animated cartoons or anything. Far more advanced than anything on the Xbox One or the PS4. So, in which case, I got both consoles. But bottom line, I mean, do I care one way or another? No, not really. I'm interested in getting the game. And some people might say you're nuts. And I guess I could agree with you. I might be nuts for wanting to do that. But I love pro wrestling. I like the video games. With the video games, you can do whatever the hell you want with them. With this shit, you can't control what you're watching. The only thing you can do is change the channel. That's it. You have no creative control over what you're watching on this show. So, it is what it is, I don't really know what to say. Let me go on NoDQ.com, see what other articles, because I don't plan any of this shit out. And when I come on here, I just kind of go with the flow. That's why I call it random wrestling talk. Talk to you guys at random about some stuff, and that's about it. And you guys talk to me, and that's how we roll here. Okay, here's a weird report. WWE reports over $1 billion in revenue during the year 2021. $1 billion. This company brings in $1 billion in revenue. Oh my gosh. Folks, $1 billion. This company is bringing in that much money. And yet, what do we get in return? Who is wanting to invest in this garbage? I mean, I feel like I'm in an upside down world or a backwards world or some shit, you know? Everything's in reverse. Hey, you put on shitty product, you get more money. Gee, I ought to start doing that. Hey, wouldn't you guys subscribe more if I gave you a shittier show? You know, give you a bunch of bull hockey and make you feel all good inside and say, "Ooh, WWE was a great show. Oh boy." No, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm going to tell you the truth of how I feel. I mean, this company is just gone, man. And what's so surprising? The man running it's out of his fucking mind. So, whatever. Big On says, I'm watching Johnny Curtis and Maxine in NXT Season 5. Okay, cool. Matt 87 Eagles says, screw the money. I agree. I think that the idea of them making all this money but yet not providing a good product is not a good thing. I think that is absolutely terrible. Big On goes on to say it's more people interested in WWE 2K22 than the actual WWE itself. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I stated why. Because people will be able to control what the hell goes on in the game. Could you imagine if you bought a game, you have no control over what the hell you're going to do with the game? The game told you what to do creatively on your universe mode, or now they're including the GM mode, which, by the way, guys, I didn't know this until the last couple of weeks ago. They state that in GM mode, not also can you book the matches, but you can play the matches. I thought from what they showed in the trailer that you can only book the match and then simulate the game, and you only control the actual the contracts that you do with the wrestlers that you put on your brand and so forth, and all that jazz. So I'm not sure about that. I mean, I hope that you're able to play the game and do the matches that you set up on your show. I may do a fixture of both. I may do both brands to make things easy when I do it in the GM mode. Or I may just do one brand and that's it, just to make it easier to get through the game a lot quicker and just enjoy the actual fun of being a GM while doing the matches and only worrying what's on my roster, and that's it. Anyway, Matt 87 Eagle that states their booking is horrible. Yes, we already know that. We've discussed that here on the channel multiple times, especially in this video. But yeah, the revenue of what they've made is mind-boggling, how they've been able to make this kind of money and produce such a terrible show. It is really unbelievable. I mean, it's like the world just completely went upside down. Really unbelievable shit. Let's talk about some AEW stuff. Viewership numbers for the Dynamite episode that took place with CM Punk and MJF being the main event. Let's see what they say about this. So last night's episode drew 954,000 viewers. And its lowest total and 18 to 49 viewership since December 15th. Wow. That really sucks. They finished third on cable, which isn't bad. They finished behind the premiere episode of South Park, which finished first with the 0.44 in the 1849 demographics. Holy shit. What the fuck? And the January 26, 2022 edition, which was last week, drew 1.1 million viewers. This is fucking terrible, guys. What the hell's going on with the AEW fan base, man? I mean, like, come on. These guys delivered a unbelievable almost hour match, and they only were able to bring in 954,000 people? Are these people mental? They just don't. They didn't remember that CM Punk and MJF was going to be on live television. They wouldn't have to pay to see it on paper. See, that's the thing, guys. I said it last night. I said this match should have been on pay-per-view. They shouldn't have given it to the fans for free. I would have got my money for the work that they put in. They busted their ass, and they only were able to draw 954,000 people. They couldn't even break 1 million. Come on, AEW fan. What the fuck you guys doing? I mean, unless you're out working, I can understand that. No offense to anyone that's out and about doing their job late at night if they do a late night shift type of thing. For fans that are a fan of the AEW product that had to work during the show, I understand, no problem. I'm not talking to you guys. But anyone that it wasn't working at 8 to 10 o'clock, how the fuck can you miss this match? I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you the ending was poorly executed. I will admit that. But overall, match-wise, this was a great match that should have been on pay-per-view. Nobody should have gotten this shit for free. That's the truth. At the end of the day, AEW should have made us have to pay for this fucking match, which I would have been gladly to pay for this match because it was a fucking blast to watch. These two guys put on an excellent performance. And now next week, we're going to see another freebie match for a world championship between Lance Archer and Hangman Page. Now, things being with Hangman Page and Lance Archer in a Texas death match, I really don't care. I know who's going to win. Lance Archer's going to lose. It's that simple. There ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, that's really disappointing with that AEW episode. That was a good episode, and it got only 954,000 people to watch. That really pisses me off. Let me see here. If you guys want to leave any comments in the chat, please go ahead. I'll read them off, and we'll discuss them. But let me go ahead real quick and continue to find anything that's interesting to go over with you guys as it comes to actual news and stuff. Brian Kendrick issues a public statement regarding past interview comments. Yeah, this was a really, I mean, I just briefly went over it with you guys when they talked about, when Matt 87 Eagle asked me about this. I'm going to go in more detail because I haven't really checked it out as much. But it is really weird. This guy is getting in trouble for comments he made a long time ago, 10 years, almost 10 years ago. And they didn't want to put him on TV because of that. Seems a little awkward to me, if you ask me. But, hey, I guess it is what it is. Let me go ahead and read Matt 87 Eagle's comment. This was built to get MJF over to take the title at the pay-per-view. I can understand that, but let's be real. What kind of major build are we going to get out of MJF and Hangman Page right now? There's not much to go off of. I mean, the pay-per-view's next month, so we're going to have 4 weeks of build, and that's it. And Matt goes on to say MJF is winning the AEW title to what? MJF winning the AEW title is what you'll be spending your money on. Well, that's the thing, man. They got no major build going into this. If they would go from March to May, giving us at least a 2-month build between these two guys and stressing that MJF deserves a title shot and whatnot, that is why I would say that the match between CM Punk and MJF needs to happen, because they had a lot of build, and this should have been built into a pay-per-view one-on-one match. And I've stated this multiple times when they started this whole situation. And they gave it to us for free. Now, they could always, have the match take place again, but I don't like that idea either. I think that would be a terrible idea. I think this match should be one and done for a while. We shouldn't see these two guys interact with each other for a while until later on down the road. That's the way I see it. So that's the way I feel on that. But let me go over this Brian Kendrick situation. So, as previously noted, Brian Kendrick was pulled from the February 2nd, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. After past interview comments resurfaced, Kendrick had made remarks about Holocaust, 9/11, the JFK assassination, the moon landing, and other conspiracy theory topics. There's certain things that I do believe could be true that are, conspiracy theories. Like the 9/11 situation, I think that was an inside job. I think that was done by our government. I do not trust our government. I am like 100% against all forms of government, democracy, socialism, communism. I'm an anarchist, man. I'm completely against all forms of government because all they know how to do is dictate, control people, and run things right into the fucking ground. If you don't believe me, see how they're taking care of this COVID shit. And I don't care if YouTube monetizes me or monetizes me or gives me a some sort of fucking marking shit for saying COVID. I don't give a fuck. That's the world we live in. That is the term what we're dealing with, COVID. So fuck you, YouTube. I don't care. You can kiss my ass. And besides, I don't make any money off your ass anyway yet. I don't have a strong following at all right now. So I don't give a fuck. I'll say what I want to say, and if you don't like it, kiss my ass. I'm not making any money off of this anyway. Monetize me. But anyway, Kendrick issued a public statement regarding what he said. I apologize for all the hurt and embarrassment I have caused with my words. These are not my beliefs and never were beliefs of mine, and I crossed the line. I spread the most vile comments without thinking of the damage it would cause. I will live with this regret for the rest of my life. I am truly sorry for the pain I have caused. Now, my feelings on that. First off, he says it wasn't his beliefs. Yeah, it was, or you wouldn't have been saying them. You wouldn't have been saying all these things were conspiracy theories, just made up loads of bullshit. You believed these things were true. Now, the 9/11 situation, I think there was some kind of inside job with our government and the Arabs. I really do. I think there was a video, a documentary that was shown to us in school about this that could possibly be true. Now, don't take it for granted that it's the truth. It's just the idea of certain things kind of add up. Now, there's no physical fact of this, but based on the puzzle, 1 + 1 = 2 type situation, without the facts, it makes sense. But again, you don't want to go ahead and accuse something is true until you actually have proof of those facts. So that's all I'm saying. But the 9/11 thing, I really believe that's a conspiracy, and I think there's something behind that might have happened. Now, am I saying that it's 100% true? Absolutely not. I hope it's not true, for God's sakes. I'd hate to think our government would do something that terrible. But then again, I'm an anarchist. I don't really believe in fucking government, but I'd hope these people have a little bit of a fucking soul in their body, and they didn't sell their life to Satan himself just so they can be rich and run the government, But bottom line, I mean, yeah, there are some truths to some conspiracy theories. The Holocaust, man. There are tons of proof that the Holocaust was real, number one. Number two, there's loads of bodies that have been buried and stuff like that. And you want to go that route with me? I'm partially Jewish. You don't say that shit to me and tell me that that's not fucking real. Get the fuck out of here with that crap. We had a world war take place from the 1940s, early 1940s up to mid 1940s. You're going to tell me that that wasn't a real thing? Come on. I'm a conspiracy theorist myself, but let's be real. That was not fucking, made up, over exaggerated and bullshit. Come on. And it ain't because I'm just Jewish. It's also because of the fact the whole world was taking an interest in this and thought what was going on was wrong. So, I mean, come on. Get a little real with yourself. Shit. But yeah, I mean, do I feel bad for him in a way? Yes, I do. I do feel bad. I mean, the comments he made were absolutely stupid. He really shouldn't have said them in the first place on a public, platform where everyone else can see the comments. He really should have kept that to himself. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, to say it wasn't your beliefs is a crock of shit. That's retarded. You're not going to tell me that it's not your beliefs, but yet you're going to say them on a social platform? Come on. You got to be out of your damn mind. Well, it's not me. Someone used me like a puppet and I typed all this stuff in. What? Come on. I just don't buy it. But for them to hold him to that 10 years later still, and AEW didn't want to use him at all, that's a little harsh. I think that is a little bit harsh. Do I like him for the comments he made? No, not really. But the guy shouldn't be out of a job just because of some stupid comments that, he should be regretful of, that he made 10 years ago. But to be out of a job completely, no, I don't agree with that. I think that's a crock of shit. I think Tony Khan was a little too harsh on him. But I guess Tony Khan was just doing it for the better of his company, for public relations, for PR, so we can get a bad PR rep from mainstream and from his audience, knowing full well about those comments he made. So if that was the route he was going, I can understand that. I give him credit for that. But the fans need to, eventually, let go of that shit. I mean, me, honestly, if he would have made the comments recently, yeah, I would be pissed. But because he said it 10 years ago, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous to hold on to that shit. I mean, if you really want to get some satisfaction, watch Jon Moxley beat the fucking shit out of him. That's what I would want to do. I would want to see him get his ass kicked. Jon Moxley would be able to do the job very well, because that's what he did with Wheeler Yuta yesterday. I thought it was great what he did. Anyway, Matt 87 Eagle went on to say MJF best Punk twice in Chicago. We ain't getting another match with these two for a long time. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they should go back to these two competing one-on-one. I really don't. I think this should be held back for a while. I think CM Punk should be the guy to take the title off of MJF in the future, unless you want to go with Darby Allin. I mean, that's the only other person I could think of to take the title off of MJF at this point. You could always build a nice, good rivalry, like a Rock versus Triple H type rivalry, where they really battle over the world championship. That could be something good, but I don't know how people would feel with them kind of passing the title back and forth every so often on the pay-per-views. But they could build a good rivalry between these two based off of that. You could see that in multiple situations. John Cena, Edge, John Cena and Randy Orton, Rock and Triple H. You can't say Rock and Austin. Austin always beat his ass for the championship. But yeah, I mean, you've had some really good rivalries that were based off of the title being changed between the two performers in that rivalry. So, I mean, that is definitely something I would be completely okay with if they were to do that with Hangman Page and MJF, because these two really need to be built up. They are, I mean, MJF is in his he's a young guy. He's in his mid 20s or something. Hangman Page, though, is in his late 20s, early 30s, I believe. And he's got some time left in him. But for him to build a strong legacy real quick, I think this kind of thing with MJF would be a smart move. Just my opinions on that. But, hey, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, unless you got any comments you want to say in the chat that you would like to ask me that I could answer here on the live stream, I'll be more than happy to go ahead and do that. I'll give you guys a few moments to leave a comment. And if not, then we're going to have to hit it. It's almost been an hour. So I'm giving you guys a few more minutes to state something. I see 2 people are watching me live. So either Matt or whoever else is watching can leave a comment right now, and I'll answer those questions. I'm giving you guys we're going to go to, we're at 56 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm going to wait until 57 minutes. If I haven't gotten a comment, I'm going to close out this live stream. And I'd like to thank you guys very much for tuning in. For the people that didn't get to watch this live, I mean, hey, you can leave comments down below. Of course, you guys know I will answer you guys when you send a comment in the video, I should say. So I will definitely go ahead and answer any comments that you guys say in the video. So anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course, and leave a comment down below. And my assistant, Matt87 Eagle, says, first stream with 0 lag. Congratulations. Well, he says, well done. Yeah, I figured this computer would do a lot better than the other computer. I don't know what's going on with the other computer. The other computer is a lot newer. That's why when you watch the live stream on there, the picture quality is great, but the fucking actual it lags, it breaks, it freezes up and everything, and it's really weird. I got to figure out what the hell's causing it, but it's doing that lately. I don't know what's causing the issue, but anyway, guys, again, I thank you very much for watching. For the people who watched me live, appreciate it. Loved hearing from you guys. I'm glad everything came in okay with quality of me talking, you guys being able to understand me without sounding like some robot going, but I wish the picture quality was better because this picture looks terrible. It looks like I'm in a fog or some shit. Anyway, guys, again, I thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you again soon. You guys stay safe, and I will speak to you tomorrow for Rampage and possibly WWE SmackDown. If I don't do WWE SmackDown Friday night, it will be Saturday. Saturday night, I will give you guys a review, or possibly Sunday, depending on which day I actually get through the entire thing and do the review. There's a possibility I may not review SmackDown at all because WWE, you guys already know, absolutely sucks. But anyway, guys, enough talking for me. I'm going to go ahead and relax for the rest of the night before I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I'll speak to you guys again soon. Bye.